Good evening, high school football fans. This is High School Football America for March 31st, 2016. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show and founder and editor-in-chief of High School Football America and highschoolfootballamerica.com. We've got a great show for you tonight. 3 big guests. We're talking Florida football. We're talking Alabama, Virginia football. We'll tell you about that in a second. And we're also talking Texas football. And we'll get to our guest in just a moment. But first, welcome in all the partners that make the show possible each and every week, beginning with Echo 1612. If you are not using instant replay on your sideline, coaches, you do not have the advantage that a lot of coaches have on you out there that are using Echo 1612. Echo1612.com is where you go to get more information. You can get your instant replay on your iPad 8 seconds after the play is completed. No data plan, no cellular plan. Folks, these are the guys that created the technology. Yes, Chad Cargill and company knew what they were doing when they started this. Sure, you get imitators afterwards, but Echo 1612 still the best out there. Lots of teams that won championships in 2015 use Echo, and you should be using it as well. Go to echo1612.com to learn more. Also brought to you tonight by Crossover. Get your free 5-minute demo from Crossover with a K, crossover.com/football for your free 5-minute demo. Okay, so what is Crossover? Quite simply, going to save you all kinds of time and allow you the luxury of doing what you do best, which is coach. You know how much time it takes, coaches, to break down game film? Well, Crossover does it for you. They do it accurately and quickly, and that means you have more time with your family, and you have more time to do what you do, which is coach. So you need to check out crossoverwithak.com/football to get that 5-minute demo. It's free. You can check out Echo and Crossover by going to highschoolfootballamerica.com. Just click on the banner ad there, and you'll go right to their site. These guys are top-notch. Both companies. Highly recommend them. Also brought to you tonight by people that I also highly recommend. They've been around the longest with us. The good folks at Southern Sport with the TDI razor, the debris inhibitor razor. Players, you know what? If you're tired of those pesky rubber pellets from field turf, from being in your shoes during games, well, this product will take care of that. The TDI razor, the debris inhibitor razor, that's TDI razor with a U, RAZUR.com. Use the code HSFA to get a discount on your order. Great colors, over 20 of them, and the product is getting better this year. It also gives you that great look of spatting without the high cost of tape. A lot of schools, if kids are spatting, ask them to pay for the tape. It's $4 a roll. Your debris inhibitor razor will definitely last the entire season. They don't wear out. That's the great thing about the debris inhibitor razor. And coaches, if you'd like to see your team having that uniform look, well, the TDI razor is the way to go. Check them out again at TDIrazor.com. Brought to you by Southern Sport. Also brought to you tonight by ScoreStream. In season, all of our scoreboards, state by state, national top 25, and the like, they are powered by ScoreStream, and it's great because when you go to a game, you can score along. You're there watching your kids play or your favorite team play. You can get in on the action by scoring on their app, which is available at Google Play and the iTunes Store. All you have to do to learn more is go to scorestream.com. And brought to you tonight by USA Today High School Sports. They are our partners, and they do a great job. In season, you can check out their Super 25 for football on Monday nights, and of course Monday during the day around noontime Eastern time, and then check out all of their Super 25s. This year we did the Super 25 high school wrestling rankings for them. You can learn more at usatodayhss.com. All right, as I said at the top, 3 big guests on the show tonight. Should be a fun one. It's going to kick off in just a couple of minutes with Mac Hereford. He is a young man who is living out his dream, playing at Woodberry Forest High School in Virginia, boarding school. He grew up in Alabama and then went to boarding school. And earlier this year, he learned that he was going to be able to walk on. He was invited as a preferred walk-on at the University of Alabama. He's going to be the 4th generation of Herefords to go to Alabama. His great-grandfather knew Paul Bear Bryant. He'll talk about that. But Mac is bubbling. You can't believe how excited he is that he has been able to achieve that dream. And you'll hear him talk about that in just a little bit here on High School Football America. Also on on the show tonight. We are going to talk with Doug Socha. He is the head coach at Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida, a new program only entering its 4th year of varsity football. And I'll tell you what, Coach Socha has him going in the right direction. He was the head coach at American Heritage in Delray Beach, Florida, back in 2011, winning a state championship there, led him to 2 state championship games. And right now, Oxbridge Academy, a private school, putting itself on the map. They got a big schedule coming up this year that's going to begin the regular season with DeMatha. So we'll talk to Coach Doug Socha coming up in just a little bit about that. And our final guest, a good friend of the show, Mark Ball. He is the athletic director at the Lubbock Independent School District. He has been a longtime coach and administrator in the state of Texas, and he's going to join us to talk about what he's going to be doing tomorrow night at TCU in Fort Worth. He's going to be part of the Texas Lyceum, which the big topic tomorrow night is the big business of football in Texas, and we know how big it is, and we're going to be joined by Coach Ball to talk about that, and he'll be joined on the stage there in Fort Worth by Joey McGuire from Cedar Hill and Hal Wasson from South Lake Carroll, so that should be an interesting chat tomorrow night, but Coach Ball always has some nuggets to deliver to us, talking about the state of football in Texas and a whole lot of other topics. So that's coming up in just a few seconds, and we're going to take our first break, get a message in here from all of our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Mac Hereford. He is a young man living out his dream, walking on at the University of Alabama as a preferred walk-on. Guy is sky high and working hard to make sure that it's more than just getting on campus there and putting on the pads. He one day wants to walk out there and play in Bryant-Denny Stadium, and I have no doubt when you listen to this young man that he will achieve that part of the dream as well. All right, coming back with Mac, you're listening to High School Football America on highschoolfootballamerica.com. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously. You'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatodayhss.com, the best in the game for everything high school football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Check out the Super 25 in season every Monday at usatodayhss.com. Well, as we mentioned at the top of the show, I have a great story here to talk about, and at any given time over the course of the 5 years, we've had some pretty impressive people on here that have gotten their letter of intent, and signing day was a big deal. But one thing we haven't done is we haven't talked to a young man who is able to not get that scholarship but gets a preferred walk-on, and we're going to have him talk about what that means. He's going to go to Alabama, which is he's going to be a fourth generation Hereford there. His name is Mac Hereford. He is a football player at Woodberry Forest in Virginia. He's in Virginia right now, still working out, part of the track team there. But earlier this year, right around signing day, it was announced that Coach Nick Saban was giving him an opportunity to be a preferred walk-on at Bama, and he's on to talk about that right now, which I imagine is a pretty big dream for him. Welcome to the show, Mac.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm excited to be here.
Well, it's exciting to have you here. And, like I said, I think nowadays everyone is aware what happens on the first Wednesday of every February, National Letter of Intent Day. But a term that's becoming more and more and more prominent in college football circles for high school players is the preferred walk-on. So before we kind of dive into this, why don't you give the listeners out there a little bit of a kind of a description of what a preferred walk-on is at Alabama?
Well, a preferred walk-on in Alabama is where I did not get a scholarship. I do not get scholarship money, but they have offered me a spot on the roster to play with the team in the fall. And so I will be coming in this upcoming May with the team, and I'm already on the team and everything. I just do not have scholarships.
But you have the chance to get it one. That's the cool thing about it. We are talking with Mac Hereford tonight. He is originally from Alabama and now going to school up in Virginia, a very good school, Woodberry Forest. And before we kind of get into the Alabama story, let's talk a little bit about your high school football career there. It's a boarding school, a very good boarding school. You guys were 8-2-1 this year. Tell us a little bit about the program there.
Well, we have a lot of good guys, and the fact that we're a boarding school, we can do, we have guys from different locations, New York or all the way down to or the other side of California where you are, and from different countries. And so with that ability, we have guys from everywhere with lots of talent and a lot of hard workers. And so it's been nice to have that around me for my football career because, we're all pushing each other, trying to make each other better. And we actually have, I think, 7 or 8 guys playing Division I college football this year, 7 of which are scholarships. So it's a lot of fun when you have those guys to surround you. But yeah, and then the school is awesome as well. Like you were saying, just the football program. It's not just the football program like some schools have it. It's the football program and the school, and so both of them feed off of each other, and it's been really nice.
For the listeners out there, Woodberry Forest is part of the Virginia Independent School Athletic Association, not the Virginia High School League, because it is a private school. And I would assume, Mac, that this experience in Virginia, going away from home and whatnot, is probably going to play a big role as you go on to college to Alabama. I mean, have you thought about that? And what do you think you've learned during your time away from home in Alabama? You're away from mom and dad and friends and family and all that. How will that help you in the transition to going to Alabama?
Yes, sir. It will definitely help me. I've grown and developed here so much. So, coming in, obviously, leaving my parents, I was a bit of a mama's boy, actually. And my oldest brother decided to go, and he was kind of a mama's boy or whatever, and then another brother went. I have 3 brothers, so 2 of the 3 went, and I'm the youngest. And when they went, I was just, I looked at it and everything, and I honestly didn't know if I wanted to go or not. And then the time came, and I said, I'm going to make this decision because, Mountain Brook was a great school, but like you're saying, to go off and experience like life on your own is a whole different thing. And so I made that decision and then came to Woodberry, and it's just, I've been able to fight through adversity here and without my parents have to face real life problems, but without like real life consequences all the time. And, it's made me so much, it's made me a better person. It's matured me so much, and I think it's going to play a big role at Alabama because, I've already been off without my parents, and I've had to do things that, are tough on my own. And so when I get to Alabama, there's going to be times where I know I'm going to be facing adversity, but hopefully Woodberry will have prepared me from that, whether it be leaving my parents or having hard academics or rigorous athletic schedule. Yes, sir. So it's going to help me a lot.
Yeah, no, I have no doubt about that. Mac Hereford is on the line tonight. He plays football at Woodberry Forest in Virginia. He is a preferred walk-on, as you heard him say at the top of the interview here at the University of Alabama. So tell me a little bit about getting the call. You've had you're the 4th generation going there. So maybe before I talk about the call, let's just talk about the tradition of your family at Alabama. I guess it goes back quite a ways, and your great-grandfather actually was friends with the legendary Paul Bear Bryant. So tell the listeners a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. So my great-grandfather, Eni Camp, was great friends with Paul Bear Bryant, and after my grandfather went there, or my great-grandfather, my grandfather actually attended the university as well, and he loved it. And then my mom, who's his daughter, and her sisters and brother all went to the university. And then after them, we've had a lot of cousins go there. And then my brother is currently there. He's a capstone man in the fellows program. And then my sister graduated from there not too long ago. So it's just been family member after family member going to the university. And it's just a lot of tradition. We've been going to games since I was about 2 months old. My mom said she was taking me in a stroller to the homecoming game. So it's been all I've known since I was little, and I'm so glad that my family's a part of the University of Alabama, and has been so intertwined with it. It's just an incredible place.
First words roll tide. First words roll tide. Maybe not mom or dad.
Maybe so. Yes, sir. We'll have to ask mom and dad, but I think that it wouldn't be a bad guess.
Yeah, that's probably pretty close. Mac Hereford is on the line tonight, a preferred walk-on at Alabama. He's going to get that moment coming up here shortly. So now let's get to the moment when you find out that you have the opportunity. I guess you've gone to a lot of camps there, so you kind of had your face in front of the people there. But tell us how it all took place and how you got the call from the staff there saying, hey, we want you here. We want you a part of the Tide.
Yes, sir. Well, so like you said, I've been going to the camps for my very first camp was the very first year Saban came to the University of Alabama, and so that was a lot of fun. And they're just to talk about their camps for a second. I mean, those camps are the best college camps out there in the country, I believe, or whatever. And they're a lot of hard work. But so I've loved those, and I've been going to them for years. And obviously, I wanted to play college football, and the place I wanted to play was Alabama. And so this past summer, I'd been training a lot and everything, and decided to go to their camp again. And I'd known the ropes, from the previous year, so I'm a little ahead of the group in that aspect, and been working on some of the drills and things that I know we would do to camp. And when I got to camp, I went with the tight ends, and I'm 6'2", so I'm not necessarily like the big size that all the guys were in the tight end group, but I knew in that group I'd get a little bit more exposure and everything. And so I was put in the top tight end group and went through the camp, and just because of my speed and everything, I think I showed out as a tight end in the 7-on-7s and 1-on-1s, and they noticed me, and I talked to Coach Williams, who's the tight end coach, a couple of times, and then one of the tight end coaches, an assistant, was like talking to me about my recruiting process, and I said I was getting looked at by the Ivies and smaller D1 FCS schools, but what I really want to do is play at Alabama. And so he then mentioned to another coach that I wanted to play, and they wrote down my information and said, they want to have me their game. And at first I kind of laughed or whatever, and I thought like, the Alabama doesn't want to have me their game. They're just doing the nice recruiting thing. Just kind of like a charity thing to say. And so at that point, I was excited. I was like, they saw me at camp and everything, thinking I was pretty good. But I didn't really completely believe that like they actually wanted me to come or whatever. And so throughout my senior season, I just kept in touch with Coach over Twitter and everything. And eventually I talked to one of them, and he said, we want you to come down. So I come down to Bryant-Denny and had a visit at the University of Alabama, which was just incredible. I got to go to the Charleston Southern game and had a great time. And there they mentioned, that like they're talking about the preferred walk-on invites, and they're saying that I'm up for that I might get that. And so, originally thought that they weren't interested at all or whatever, just thought they were being nice. And now it's like, this might actually happen. And so I continued to work hard and everything. And it was after signing day, I got a call, and it was kind of like a dream almost. I guess you could say. I just really didn't believe it. I worked hard, and to be honest, I really thought that I could achieve this goal because of what I did to work for it. But it just, hearing this, like you have a spot. They called me and they said, like, Coach Jody Wright called me and said, Mac, we want you on our team. We're really excited. And we hope you make the decision to come here. And I just stopped right there and said, I'm coming. So like, they didn't no convincing or anything. And then, so I got the spot and everything. And my parents actually didn't talk to any of the coaches. I was doing all the communication, so they didn't like believe it or anything. And they're seeing the articles come out, and they're like, what are we supposed to say? We don't know anything yet. So I was like, y'all aren't excited for me. But it was just because of that. They hadn't talked to him, and they called the coaches and figured it out and everything, and they were so excited. So it was a long process, but it was an awesome experience and an awesome feeling to know that I've accomplished my goals and dreams.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Well, I believe if you throw stuff out into the universe, it becomes true. I mean, I guess you're actually finding that out in this instance here. That's just such a cool story. We're talking with Mac Hereford tonight on High School Football America, brought to you by USA Today High School Sports, talking about him becoming a preferred walk-on at the University of Alabama. Now, that's not just the end of the road for you. It's not like you got the cherry on the sundae, right? You expect to turn this into something. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in Virginia there, getting ready for time to walk onto the campus there in Tuscaloosa.
Well, I've been doing since my sophomore year. I actually played varsity tennis my freshman year, and decided to stop playing tennis to be able to do track. And I did track in the winter and the spring, and then football obviously in the fall. And so I've been doing track for so long and staying in shape. But this year particularly, I'm on a weight program, working out daily, and then I've got track on top of that. So I'm using track to increase my speed and just lifting to increase my strength. And then on the side of that, I actually I do a lot of work with my friends, like 7-on-7 and one-on-ones with cornerbacks and things like that. And we have a quarterback, Lyndall Stone, who's a really good player who is always willing to throw, as well as a freshman QB who's literally up every morning, whether you're out there or not. So just a lot of work, and I'm hoping that one day I'll get my opportunity to play on the field, but I'm just concerned with myself and if I'm putting in the work I need to be putting in, and I want to help out the team as much as I can, and if I get my chance, I'll get my chance. So yes, sir.
A step at a time is the best way to look at it. You mentioned that there at Woodberry Forest, you've got a lot of Division I kids coming out of there. I'm assuming they're still on campus, so you're working out with them. And maybe the bigger question, because those guys got the letters of intent, right? You're a little different. How'd they feel about you, since you said they were all, everybody's pulling for each other? I got to imagine your teammates were pretty happy for you as well.
Oh, yes, sir. They some of the first people after I made my decision who found out were my teammates, and they're calling me. We all go to the same school, but they called me so quickly after and everything, and telling me how excited they are for me. And people were saying, just they're glad to see that my hard work has paid off, and it's awesome. We have these guys who have everything, you have all the offers and everything you want, but they think that my thing is just as big deal as theirs. And they're so excited for me. So it's a blessing to be here with all these good kids. Yes, sir.
Cool. Mac Hereford on the line tonight on High School Football America, a preferred walk-on at Alabama. And I know this is probably putting the cart before the horse, because, like you said, you got to put on you put in the work first. But can you even imagine? Can you let yourself dream for a second to feel what that might feel like the day you get to actually step on the field there and play in a real game for Alabama, the team you grew up loving and dreaming about playing for?
Yes, sir. I actually recently was thinking about that because someone was asking me about the same thing, and it would be a pretty just powerful experience. It'd be one of the best moments of my life. Just knowing when I step out on that field, not only do I have my grandfather, who he passed away earlier this year, but my grandmother and my other grandparents just watching me, and my grandparents, I've been blessed to have for a long time living, but they're so excited for me and everything. But just my family too, and seeing the fans and the crowd, and just realizing that I was a little boy who once looked down there, and now I'm that guy that I wanted to always be. I'm that guy who inspired me to play football and inspired me to be out there. And it's just, I don't know if I'd ever be able to explain the experience or anything. It's just be so special and so powerful that it would just be awesome.
Yeah, you're just going to soak it all in. Well, Mac, we really appreciate you joining us on the show here tonight. From the moment you hit us up on Twitter a couple of weeks ago and I had a chance to speak to you, I knew you were a special young man, and I can understand now why you were able to kind of put your focus on a dream and now achieve that dream. So congratulations on that, and best of luck there with the Tide. And I guess before we go, you got to say goodbye with a Roll Tide for us. So give us a Roll Tide going out.
Roll Tide, everybody, and thank you so much for letting me on the show, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Y'all are some great people, and your show is awesome. And I look forward to talking to you in the future and seeing where your show goes and everything, and staying in touch. But thank you so much for having me on, and I hope everybody who listened enjoyed it. So
yeah,
thank you, and I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and you know what? I'm gonna keep you to your word there. You're coming back on when you get that opportunity to walk out there in the field and describe it to us. So as long as you agree to that, then we're all good going away here.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks a lot. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're heading to the state of Florida, a program that's only 4 years old, but what a schedule they have. Starting at the top with DeMatha. That story when we come back. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay sideline system works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra Bigfoot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatodayhss.com, the best in the game for everything high school football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Check out high school football year-round by going to usatodayhss.com. Well, as I said at the top of the show, we're going to make a couple of stops here. Just leaving Alabama, that great story about Mac Hereford walking on at Alabama. What a great story for that young man following his dream. And now we head to Florida. We're heading to West Palm Beach, a program entering its 4th year of varsity football. Oxbridge Academy. Made it to the postseason last year in Florida, in the Florida High School State Athletic Association, coming off of 2 years of probation, getting the program up and rolling. And Doug Socha is the head coach there, and he's going to join us right now to talk about what it's like to get a program off the ground and rolling. They've got a big schedule this year. They played some tough competition last year, so we're going to learn a little bit about the ThunderWolves, right? What a great nickname. Welcome to the show, Coach.
All right, thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate you having us on here today.
Yeah, well, let's kind of dive into this. I set the tone here for the listeners. You had some success, very good success at American Heritage, Delray Beach, winning a state championship there, back-to-back appearances in the state title game, 22-5 during that mark. You've coached at the collegiate level, and you get this opportunity there in West Palm Beach, Florida. No slack there when it comes to a good community to be in the middle of. But tell us a little bit about the starting of a program and some of the things that you had to do to put that foundation in and build it from the start. Can you take us back to the beginning? What were some of the first things you did?
Well, absolutely. First off, it was such a blessing of timing and just destiny that, to have this opportunity be presented. And, I think everything was aligned the right way, in terms of leaving American Heritage and then, looking for the next stop. And then this thing came up, and, so Oxbridge, they're located in West Palm Beach, and, they were a brand new startup school. We've got a tremendous owner named William Koch, who is a very successful businessman who has decided to make this his legacy. He created the school in 2011, and it's a student-centered, project-based learning school, learning environment. And, obviously to get the school off the ground, in year one, they didn't have football. They did have other sports. And then in year two, they explored some ideas about having a football program, and that's how it all timed up. But, there was a young, ambitious kid who now plays football at Columbia named Trey Gabriel, who, went to the president, Bob Parsons, who had spent some time at the Naval Academy, and who understands how to change a culture and build a culture. And he's done such a great job at Oxbridge. We started football, and, Trey Gabriel got it off the ground, in terms of the interest of students, and Bob Parsons and Craig Sponsky, our athletic director, came up with an idea, and then, it just timed up in June of 2012 to interview and eventually get the job. And, wow, I mean, it just, to start a program from scratch with, a student body that was going from about 125 to 260, with no intentions of having football in that year too. So, we had 35 to 40 kids that signed a petition and said, hey, I want to try out for football. So in 2012, that was our opportunity to, buy some equipment, start practicing. We were unsure if we were going to play games, and then we ended up playing 6 JV games that first year. We had some good success at practice and decided, hey, let's grab some games and go from there. And, I think early on building the program, some of the challenges, it was such a great opportunity to, put your footprint on a place that had such a good culture already started, where it's student-centered and they've got all the right intentions of creating this academic and educational institution. And then having football was a big part of it, and it's become a big part of it, as with the fine arts and with the other sports. But, just having this roster of kids that, we're so anxious and excited to get it going, and, put our footprint into how we're going to practice, how we're going to, what's our style of offense, defense, kicking game, and teach these kids the game. And, going back to that 2012, it was it slowed everything down for me and the coaches that were on that staff, in terms of just, really goes back to the root of why you coach football. And, to develop kids and, see them grow. And, the previous stop that we had some good success. We had some ready-made kids. We had, a football program that, had been in place, and we just wanted to take it to the next level. But having this opportunity at Oxbridge was to, start from ground zero, from ordering equipment to, figuring out where we're going to practice without a facility for the first year, and where we're going to play our games, and so there's just so many challenges that have gone with it. It was unbelievable, and the different personalities and kids coming from, we're here in 2012, we're recruiting kids off of our golf team to play on our team, and we had, from that year one in 2012, we had 3 kids that really went all 4 years, and we're so appreciative of those kids, and those kids are just graduating right now, and they're going on off to college, and one's going to end up being a kicker in college. The other 2 are just going to college, but we've grown, obviously, and we're lucky to have this opportunity. We've got great leadership. It's just a tremendous challenge as a coach.
And Coach, what did you learn about yourself? You mentioned all the challenges, and I think, you've been around the sport long enough, and like you said, the success you had in American Heritage, it makes you appreciate, obviously, but did you learn something about yourself as a coach saying, you know what, I kind of forgot about the roots of this, and it really got me back? I mean, any nugget like that for the coaches out there listening to this show?
Absolutely. I think that, you go through phases, as a coach and as a person, and you get tunnel visioned, and we were so driven, and we were so outcome oriented when we were at the other place, and we had good outcomes. We were really good, but I think starting this place and having patience and become more process driven in terms of the day-to-day steps that you can take as a program, and just I think that's the biggest thing. And I think as coaches, you also go through phases where you're a young coach in the 20s and you think you know everything. And then you get into your 30s and you're kind of like, well, maybe I don't. And then I'm now 41. And it's like, now I can't stop learning. I'm trying to research and meet new coaches and network. And but, I've learned a lot. I certainly appreciate, that this place has changed my life, it changed my coaching style and probably my path of where I'm going with it. It's made me appreciate football so much more, by having to start this program and be part of such a great organization.
Yeah, it's definitely got your thumbprint on it. Nobody can claim that ever again. Doug Socha is on the line tonight. He is the head coach at Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida, entering its 4th year of varsity football. We're going to talk about a big schedule that you have coming up here in 2016. Last year, 9-3 mark, made it to the state quarterfinals. Oh, by the way, you lost to the place that you turned into a state champion back there at American Heritage. Let's talk a little bit about last year and how it may motivate the kids going into this year. Certainly, you want to always go beyond where you end up unless you win a state championship. But how did last year kind of set the tone for what you're doing coming up? You got spring ball coming up, obviously, and then the regular season.
Well, I think it didn't end the way anyone would have designed an ending, and everything comes to an end at some point. But to lose the way we lost on a last-second Hail Mary, and thinking that we're advancing to the next round, that we lose, in a moment, how that went down. But I think we learned a lot as a football team and as a program and as a school, because really this place is all in. We're talking from student body to administration to the leadership. They're all in, with everything that Oxbridge is doing with football, as part of that. But as a football team, we learned a lot. We challenged our kids with a schedule early on in the front end, and and we got our first taste of what it was like to play in the playoffs, and we hosted. Actually had an opportunity to host 2 games. We won our district, which was big. But I think it kind of set the tone for what it takes and what it feels like. We don't ever want to feel the way we felt on November 20th ever again. There's no guarantees that's going to happen, but I think the way we've scheduled for this 2016 season, has really captured our attention, I think, as a program and as a team. And, the way this thing's going to start off, with a kickoff classic, and then we're going to travel up to Maryland and play DeMatha, and then we've got our district, and then, we're going to host IMG Academy later in the year. I think that's going to keep our focus. Our kids work hard. They know what the standard is, what we expect in the classroom, socially, and then, certainly in the weight room and all the football development stuff that we do. So reflecting on last year, I think there's a lot of good lessons to learn. We sent off some good players to college, and we're going to have to overcome, losing those guys. But I think we've created some good depth. And, I think another thing from last year, we had an injury bug hit us, like no other time I've been a part of anything. And, it gave us an opportunity to develop some other guys and get some guys, kind of like their next man up mentality. So, I think we're going to learn a lot. We learned a lot from last year, and, we're going to take that into this upcoming season for sure.
For the listeners around the country, last year Oxbridge Academy lost to American Heritage, as he said last second, 16-11 in the state quarterfinals. American Heritage from Delray Beach going on to the 3A state championship there. You beat them during the regular season too, 24-7. We should bring that up. But let's talk about kind of. So you had a great year. That was the first year you could get into the playoffs in Florida and all that. Tell me about the goals you set when you started it and how they are matching now as we get ready for 2016. Are you guys on course? Are you ahead of schedule? Where are you in relationship to that with some of the things you laid out at the beginning?
Well, I don't know if we've ever set out saying, this is the outcome goal that we want to become or what we want to do. We wanted to build a consistent, program that works hard and develops. But I certainly think we've benefited from the growth of the school. The school has gone from 260 enrollment to 440 to 580 where we sit now. So we've got some really good depth and young players in our program, and our upcoming 2017 class is going to be very highly recruited. So I definitely, I get to put it in terms of, are we on schedule? Absolutely, we're on schedule. But we can't lose focus and lose respect for the process of the day-to-day grind of what needs to get done in the weight room, what needs to get done in the classroom, how we need to behave, and what the standard of how we're going to operate as a program. So I feel good about where we are. We're still a day-to-day operation in terms of we want to have the best lift we can possibly have. Every day that we're in the weight room, and make the next one our best one, and then our next workout on the field our next best workout. We want to do well academically. So I feel good about where we are and where we've come from, and certainly where we're going. Talking
to Doug Socha tonight, the head coach at Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida, talking football, just fourth year of varsity football. And before we kind of look ahead to 2016 with the players, I think I read you had 6 players sign to play at the next level at the beginning of February there. So you had some special kids. You mentioned the kids that came all the way through for the 4 years. Let's get some of the kids by name that did a great job for you last year, and then we'll turn our focus to this year after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Our running back, Travis Homer, at University of Miami. We had a tight end, defensive end, A.J. Darson, who signed at UConn. And both those guys will get set to go early June to their colleges. We had Trayon Jones, who was a skilled two-way player for us that signed at Southeastern Missouri, as did a defensive end, Victor Alvarez, who will go there and play defensive end. They'll actually leave in the summer, nice and early, too, as well. We had Austin Griffin, who was a tight end for us, who signed at Missouri S&T, and he'll go play tight end out there. It's a good high academic Division II school. And then Derek McDonald, who is a wide receiver DB who signed and committed to Mount Union. And those are the 6. And then we have a 7th guy who is a kicker who has some opportunities at Tulane, SMU, and he's just trying to figure out what's going to be the best situation for him, from an academic standpoint and from kicking. So we're certainly proud of that group of kids. I think the next group might even be a little bit better.
Well, that's a good segue then, Coach. So it sounds like the cupboard is not bare. So let's get into some of the kids that you expect to lead this team in 2016. Got kids that you think are going to do the thing to get you to maybe that next level.
Yeah, we're fortunate. This 2017 class is a special group because they were really the first big group of kids that got to come to Oxbridge back when they were freshmen. And we certainly got some kids that are highly recruited, and there's a bunch of them in that group. But I would say, on the line of scrimmage, we've got a few kids. Tyler Williams, who's a 6 foot, 300-pound defensive tackle. He's got multiple offers. He's certainly going to anchor our defense up front, and he's a great player for us. Another guy on defense, Trayvon Leonard, who has multiple offers from across the country. He's a 6-foot, 180-pound corner. He's been with us all 4 years. He's a great kid. An offensive lineman, Robert Holmes, 6'6", 335 pounds. Been a good player. He's coming off an injury. We expect big things out of him as well. And then another defensive guy, Jonathan Garvin, who done a good job. He's actually going to be a senior transfer for us. 6'4", 230 pounds, and he's got multiple offers. Damon Daniel, who's going to be a 4-year player, plays safety. He's being recruited. He's 5'10", 190. I know there's a bunch of these guys. So I don't forget some. But we've got some other great players, that are going to be recruited. I think there's 5 or 6. Another guy that I forgot, Willie Hampton, who's actually committed to Nebraska as a linebacker, 6'1", 220 pounds. Great player for us. So, we've got, I think this recruiting class is, for us, guys going out is pretty heavy on defense. We expect to be really good on defense. And, we've got to make up for some holes on offense, losing our running back to Miami. But I think, we're going to be better on the offensive line because of getting a year older at quarterback. We've got to replace the tight end. We've got some other good players as well.
Talking Oxbridge Academy football tonight on High School Football America, brought to you by USA Today High School Sports, located in West Palm Beach, Florida. And as we wrap things up here, Coach, let's you alluded to the schedule, DeMatha, IMG, but you've got some other good ones on there. First, before you get into all the teams that you're playing this year, give us a little bit of a look inside your mind when it comes to scheduling. Is it all about making sure these kids are ready for that postseason run by playing these tough games up front?
It is, and I think I want these kids to be challenged. I want them to be focused, and we want to try to schedule in what people would say above our heads at times. But I certainly want these kids to have the absolute best opportunity in high school to be challenged and have to compete. So it's certainly part of our philosophy of scheduling, and we were fortunate this year to put together the schedule that we did.
In addition to DeMatha out of Maryland and IMG, who else do you have in state there that names people would recognize?
Yeah, we're excited. We're going to play an 8A team out of Miami, Columbus, which is a private school, very successful program. We're going to play them in the Kickoff Classic. We're going to go to DeMatha week 1. We're going to play Carroll City out of Miami, who a very good football team and program down there on the rise. They compete against the Miami Central and those guys, so they're a very good football team. We're going to play Royal Palm Beach, which is a local school in our county, and then obviously our district has American Heritage, Cardinal Newman, and then Pope John Paul. And then we're going to also play American High School from Miami. And then, I think the big one late in the year, week 8, we've got IMG, who could be, the most talented high school football team in the country, come to our place in the middle of October. So we're certainly we've got our football team focused, and they're going to be challenged this fall. There's no doubt about it.
Sounds like a big season coming up, Coach. We appreciate you joining us on the show tonight, and success in 2016 to you and all your players there. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you, and thank you so much for what you're doing for high school football.
You're very welcome. Taking a break, coming back with more. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatodayhss.com, the best in the game for everything high school football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Check out high school football year-round from USA Today at usatodayhss.com. Well, we're going to keep the show in the South. We've been in Florida. We've been in Alabama. Time to go to the state when it comes to high school football, the state of Texas. And the reason for that is coming up tomorrow in Fort Worth at TCU, a big conference. And boy, you'd think they had already talked about this, but the Texas Lyceum is going to discuss the big business of football in Texas. And none better to have on the key fireside chat than and our good friend, the athletic director at Lubbock Independent School District, which includes Lubbock and 3 other schools. Mark Ball, who's been on the show before, he's going to be on there with Joey McGuire from Cedar Hill and Hal Wasson from South Lake Carroll. Wow, talk about a powerful panel. And Coach Ball is on the line right now to tell us a little bit what you're going to talk about. I don't think you're going to lack for any sort of material there when it comes to the big business of football in Texas. But welcome to the show, Coach.
Good to be here, Jeff. Nice to talk to you again. And yeah, that's a pretty powerful panel. At least 2 of those guys. I think between the 3 of us, we've got 600 wins, and I have 50 of them. So anyway.
You're in good company then. Your humility certainly precedes you on this one. But let's dive into it. And we were joking before I rolled the tape here that I said, "What does Lyceum mean?" And you came up with the answer. So not only are you a good football coach, you're a good educator. So let's educate the listeners here. The Texas Lyceum. What is it, and why are they talking about football tomorrow night?
Well, really, it's an association of Texans, and I'd say kind of maybe the next generation of leaders in Texas. And what they do, they try to identify and develop leadership in the state, and then they really work on educating their directors by exploring relationships of really major issues that face our state. And so they have these conferences, about 3 or 4 of them a year, where they discuss these topics. And these are really some impressive young people. And I'd say I call them young people. I'd say the majority of them are under 40 years old. I'm sure there are a few that are over that. But if you start looking at their board of directors, and it covers all businesses and facets of occupations in the state. But I know in June they're going to do a conference on Can Texas be Cuba's best trading partner. The next one will be on border security and immigration in the state, and they're having one in October in San Antonio, the buyer's market, charging the automotive revolution in Texas. So, some pretty impressive stuff and impressive people. And believe it or not, this conference is the big business of football in the state of Texas. And that's where we now head, which there's no doubt in anybody's mind that it's big business there. So with you in the panel there, what's going to be kind of the chat? I'm sure the moderator is giving you some questions and all that, but what do you think the tone's going to be out of you and your 2 comrades up there on the stage? Well, I think a lot of it's going to be just the change. One of the things will be just the change. One of the reasons that we kind of targeted these 2 guys is both of them are partners in Under Armour with me. We have a district-wide partnership with Under Armour. South Lake Carroll and Cedar Hill are what we call Under Armour Undeniable Schools. They get some really exclusive deals with Under Armour. The things that they have going with their season ticket sales, with their marketing. South Lake Carroll has its own, spirit shop inside Dragon Stadium. So a lot of things along those lines. I think we'll also get into how recruiting has changed with social media, and then I think they'll probably talk to us a little bit about where's the game headed? The safety, and that's a big topic right now. Concussions, the big thing out there amongst the media and the public. So those are 3 things I think we'll probably cover.
Talking with Mark Ball tonight on High School Football America, the Texas Lyceum taking place at TCU in Fort Worth tomorrow, and they're going to be talking about the big business of football in Texas. Mark Ball, longtime successful coach. He won more than 50 games, folks, believe me on that. Longtime administrator in the state, going to be on part of a panel that has some powerful guys with them, in Hal Wasson and Joey McGuire. You talked about Under Armour. I don't know if we've talked about this on past shows, but you mentioned that what you have and what those guys have. I know that Nike got a lot of ink earlier this year when they signed the deal with Frisco, and I think who else did? There was somebody else, the Adidas deal. I can't think. Was that Lancaster signed that one there? But I guess my question more more directly to that is, is this the norm? Is this what we're going to see a whole lot more of, especially in the state of Texas?
Well, I think you're seeing more of it. We just, I know Nike just did one out in El Paso. And, of course, all these deals are different and, kind of depending upon your programs and how many schools you have and what sports and et cetera, determines what you get. But, again, as I said, everybody, the words, Nike has those schools like Allen and Katy that are, they would be comparable to what we call our undeniable schools with Under Armour. I mean, they get really exclusive deals with a lot of stuff. And, then there are some of them like the Frisco deal with Nike, just like our deal in Lubbock. We don't get what, we don't have the undeniable schools because, we haven't won, to get those, you got to win some state championships in football, and so we're not there yet. But you see more and more of this happening now, and 15 years ago you didn't see that in high school ranks, and so it's a growing deal in Texas right now.
And I would assume one of the topics that can be talked about as we dive off of that, that brings in product, and I guess there's some cash with it in that. But I think the thing that sometimes gets lost, and this just is in Texas, but certainly we're just talking Texas now, but the role of the high school football program as it relates to the rest of the athletic programs out there in various school districts, whether it's Texas or Florida or Georgia or Pennsylvania, wherever you go, there's an importance to having high school football be what it is, because in many, many cases, it's funding the other programs. I would assume that's kind of the similar thing there. But what's your take on the need for football to have the role and be as big a role leader as it is?
Well, a lot of places it's different. Each community is different. But I mean, when you go back through and think about some of these teams that say they average. We have a lot of schools that average 10,000 people a game, and they split that gate. But I mean, if you have if you just have a $50,000 gate revenue for 10 ball games, and then once you get in the playoffs, that's when you have an opportunity a lot of times to make some really big money, especially when you do double and triple headers. I know when I was in Wiley a couple of times and we played in the old Texas Stadium, well, I was involved in some triple headers with South Lake Carroll and Allen and some of these schools. And if there's 6 teams, you're in a triple header where you split the gate 6 ways. And I mean, we took home some pretty significant checks. And so a lot of places, not only is there pressure to win, but there's pressure to also make some money. Mm-hmm. And the other thing it does, it helps. I think it helps when football can do that, because now a lot of all the extra money that you might make with your booster clubs and things like that, it helps your other sports, I believe, raise money outside the budget. Because football is self-sufficient, and so I think it gives your other sports an opportunity. I know the first 10 years I was in Wiley, we never took a penny from our booster club.
Wow.
We had our lift-a-thon, and that was money we kept. But everything else in our booster club that we made, we gave to our other sports to help them.
Talking with Mark Ball tonight on High School Football America, the district-wide athletic director at the Lubbock Independent School District. And Coach, you after you hung up the whistle and went into administration, I'm sure things have changed a lot. Probably could be part of the conversation at the Texas Lyceum tomorrow night at TCU. From your perspective, where are the biggest changes, not only in football, but in being an athletic director in the year 2016?
Well, I see 2 big initiatives coming. One, as we've already mentioned, the safety. We're going to have to find ways to make the game safer. I mean, obviously that involves equipment and things like that, but also involves practice. and I think it involves how much contact you have in practice. I mean, I think we're really going to have to look hard at how we practice and the things we do and the things that deal with safety. And this is a great game. It's a noble game. It's an honorable game. But we have to be smart and improve our game and make it safer. The other thing I see is the character education part of it. You know, you look at all the stuff we're going on now, and look at all these things where we're having sexual assault accusations and domestic violence and abuse and those things. I mean, and you know, your coach spends more time with the player than anybody else, and so you know, and our coaches are teaching character now, but I think in the future we need to make time. We have to have time to teach more character education. So, I mean, to me, those are two big things that I see, you know, that are going to need to be addressed here in the future.
Yeah, I've said it before. It's unfortunate at 55 years old that I'm now saying at times well, it's the internet more than the newspaper, but it's one and the same thing. You know, it looks like a police blotter, and we've got to address that character issue in a big, big way. Mark Ball on the line tonight on High School Football America. He will be speaking tomorrow night along with Joey McGuire and Hal Wasson at the Texas Lyceum's Big Business of Football in Texas, the Fireside Chat, and talk a little bit about the friendship, the fraternity that is Texas high school football coaching. I've been there. You've been able to kind of peel back the onion for me and let me see it firsthand a little bit. And while you have it in every state, it seems to be a little bit more special there in Texas. How would you classify it?
Well, I mean, you know, again, and I tell people, I get asked this question a lot in interviews, and maybe a lot of times, you know, for especially being close to Tech, graduate students will call me and they're in the sports management program. You know, what advice you give people? The advice I give them is develop relationships with your colleagues. You know, so every time I face an issue, I have a chance to call my colleagues, and I get their ideas, I get their opinions, I get their advice, and it's just like this deal. When the Lyceum called me and asked me to participate in this, hey, can you find a couple of good high school football coaches that that would be part of this panel? Well, you know, I called Joey McGuire, Hal Wasson, you know, two guys that we've had relationships with, and you know, they're willing to help out, you know, to come participate in this, to promote football in our state. And so it's just a really neat deal with the relationships you build. You know, we enforce those by having opportunities to visit the clinics at our state coaching school in the summer, and then also, you know, recently we've had a chance with AFCA being in Texas a couple of times, you know, where we've been able to get together at AFCA, but you know, your relationships are so important, and you depend on them so much. But there's a lot of conversation that goes on Monday morning during the season, not amongst coaches within your own staff, but a lot of times as a head coach, I know many times, you know, calling other head coaches and picking their brain, getting their ideas, getting their opinions, and sometimes just getting in to help you lick your wounds.
No, I understand that one, that's for sure. Mark Ball is on the line, good friend of ours here at High School Football America, and he's talking about the Texas Lyceum. They're going to be talking the big business of football in Texas coming up tomorrow night at TCU. You can learn more at Texas Lyceum. I'm going to spell that because I didn't know how to spell it for you folks out there. So Texas, you know how to spell it. It's lyceum.org. You can learn about it there. And Coach, you touched on a couple of times on the safety of the game, and I think we've had you on now. This is the third time. We haven't talked about it kind of drilling down, but do you have some kind of nuggets on where you think the safety needs to head, whether it's eliminating tackling in practice like the Ivy League did during the regular season, to technique? What are some of your nuggets that you have on the topic of safety and concussions to make the game safer and move it forward?
Well, these are some things I think we all need to consider. Number one, having all of our athletes do the preseason baseline computerized testing to get a baseline. So if you do have a head injury of some sort or may think you have concussion, that you have that data and go back and use that. We do that here for all of our varsity football players for all 4 high schools. Yes, it has a price, but I think the price is well worth it. The other thing is head safety with helmets. It still amazes me that we have people out here that are wearing helmets that are over 10 years old. Really look at the quality of your helmets and do everything you can to stay abreast on what's happening with technology and don't ever fudge any amount of money to save a dollar on a headgear. That is so important. And then I think the other thing is we need to look at how we practice. As you said, I think we really need to look at, do we need to reduce contact? That kind of deal. I really think we got to look at how we practice. And I think the other thing we got to look at different techniques and things. We have done a lot of time looking at what Pete Carroll is using in Seattle with the Seahawk tackling. The rugby style tackling, and I think it has a lot of merit. And that's important. And then the fifth thing I think our youth programs. I'm not saying I think we really need to look at what age we start letting kids play contact football. Should we play flag until they're 12 years old or something? I think that's something we really need to look at also.
Yeah, I think the good news is people like yourself and the people that have been around the sport a long time that are good, clear thinkers on it have come up with topics like this that need to be addressed. It's kind of interesting. I think the one, and we'll leave the safety issue after this, and I get this from coaches around the country all the time, is, it's hard when there's no contact allowed, or they've limited it down to a number now in many, many states, that these kids are coming in not with the proper techniques. How do you reach the coaches at the bottom level, whether it's the Pop Warners, whether it's your feeder systems, they're all the same thing, but how do you make that message and teach that to your coaches? It goes back to the character thing as well. You also have to teach technique. So is there a better way to do that, where we know these coaches that are taking these kids at whatever age we decide they should start playing and tackling? Is there a way to get them educated?
Well, I think a lot of us, we're doing a lot with the USA football heads-up tackling. I think I see more junior high districts in the state of Texas teaching their junior high coaches, bringing in people, getting somebody certified, and teaching them the heads-up tackling by USA football, which I think is, it's a very, very good avenue, to do that. But again, I'm a big proponent. I think it can be done. I can go back, I think, when I started coaching in 1979. A guy named John Riddell's a great football coach at Trinity High School right down the road from us in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Ran the wishbone. Coach Riddell played at Oklahoma, heck of a coach. They did not have any contact during the week in practice. And he was very successful. And that was a long, long time ago.
Okay, here we go. We always have one moment when we both recognize. I already gave my age, so we've both been around a long time. But, I guess then, to your point, what the Ivy League is doing in eliminating tackling, completely during the regular season, while it seems new and is catching a lot of national spotlight, you're saying it's been done before, and, oh, by the way, it was done in Texas.
Yeah, I saw it firsthand, and again, they now spring training, they did a lot of tackling, but once they started playing games in the fall, he cut it back and eliminated it. So we have to think outside the box. We have to look at things to keep our game where it is, and that's a responsibility I think we all have as coaches and administrators.
Yeah. Mark Ball on the line tonight, the athletic director for the entire Lubbock Independent School District, oversees 4 schools. And let's go on this one, Coach. I know it's not about Texas Lyceum, but we have so many coaches that listen to us. They love our coaches' job board to find their new openings and all that. And you've been hiring people for a long time. You've been in the role of trying to be hired by someone for a long time as well. From an athletic director standpoint, maybe you can give some of our coaches that listen to the show some nuggets. When you're sitting down looking to hire, you hired a new head coach at Estacado, one of your schools, earlier this year. What are some of the things you're looking at, especially since earlier you addressed the character situation and all that? So what should coaches be doing when it comes to trying to get a job, trying to move up, trying to impress a person like yourself who's part of the hiring process?
Well, the first piece of advice I give them is network. You have to network, and you have to go to clinics, you have to go to conferences, you have to develop relationships with people. I still think there's a big piece of it. It's it's not. I hate to say it, but it's a lot of still who you know and who can help you, because you have to do something to. It is so hard in the state of Texas, I know, to even get an interview. And the second part of that, I would say, is resumes. I mean, you cannot believe some of the resumes I see, Jeff. Get some help with your resume. Have different people look at it. Get ideas. And that is so important, because they're going to get one look at it. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, you have if you get an interview, you get one chance to make a first impression. And if you're not wearing a coat and tie, you're not making a very good impression. But you only get that one chance. So, I mean, those are 3 little things I can think of right off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have a go-to question that you always fire at a would-be head coach that you're looking at to see how he answers it?
No, really don't. I really don't have a go-to question. And I know maybe some people do, but I don't, because I think you have to. I think you have to look at every situation, and sometimes I don't know of one universal question that can apply to every head coaching position.
Well, Coach, we always appreciate you joining us. You shed some light on some things, educate people, and that's what it's all about, right? Once you hang up the whistle and you go to administration, you gotta teach what you've learned and pass it along, and you're certainly doing that, and you'll be doing that tomorrow night in Fort Worth at TCU, the big business of football in Texas, part of the Texas Lyceum. Coach, we appreciate you joining us. Appreciate your friendship, and safe travels to Fort Worth.
Well, Jeff, I appreciate it, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about our game, and I appreciate what you do and your part in supporting high school football.
Well, thank you. It's a good partnership we have here. Coach, thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished, so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. USA Today High School Sports is America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out usatodayhss.com, the best in the game, for everything high school football. All right, that's going to do it for tonight's show. I want to thank our guests on the show tonight, starting with Mac Hereford at Woodberry Forest High School in Virginia, walking on as a preferred walk-on at Alabama. Wish him nothing but success when he heads to Tuscaloosa. Also want to thank Doug Socha, head coach at Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida. Should be an exciting year for the ThunderWolves, and want to thank Mark Ball as well. Great high school football coach and administrator in the state of Texas, talking about the big business of football in the state of Texas at the Texas Lyceum coming up at TCU tomorrow night. Want to thank our sponsors as well. Crossover, get a free demo by going to crossoverwithak.com/football. Echo 1612, get instant replay on your sidelines. 8 seconds after the play is done, go to echo1612.com. You can get to both sponsors and all of our sponsors by going to highschoolfootballamerica.com and clicking on the banner ads. Also brought to you tonight by ScoreStream. the TDI razor, the debris inhibitor razor. Keep those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes. Use the code HSFA at TDIRazor.com to get a discount on your order. Also brought to you tonight by USA Today High School Sports at USA Today HSS. Don't forget, when we're not on the air, you can follow along with all the news at highschoolfootballamerica.com, state-by-state breakdowns. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, our handle, HSFBAmerica. And also got the Instagram going a lot as we're putting up more and more pictures from our stadium project. And don't forget the coach's job board. We update it daily. If you have an opening, just contact me at jeff@highschoolfootballamerica.com to be posted. You can search the job postings by state, by whether it's a defensive coordinator, offense coordinator, whatever you want to do. You can check it out at highschoolfootballamerica.com. Coach's job board for all jobs outside of football coming back, being updated, and it will be up and running tomorrow. April Fool's Day, no joke there. It really will be up and running tomorrow. For now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from Southern California. You've been listening to High School Football America on highschoolfootballamerica.com.